We come now to a question from a listener in Ravenna, Ohio, who writes, "You speak so often of knowing Jesus intimately. Although I know I'm saved and read my Bible daily, I have prayed for an understanding of this intimate relationship with Jesus. Could you please explain what you mean by intimately?"
Well, let me say, first of all, that we're living in a day when there is so much that is merely surface, and it's on the surface. That is, so many of us are living rather artificial lives. And the word that's used is that there are a great many cosmetic Christians. That is, they're just made up on the outside, and there's nothing from the heart at all. And I use that expression purposely, to know the Lord Jesus intimately. What does that mean? Well, it means that this is not lip service that you're rendering to Him. It doesn't mean that you have answered all the questions that were put to you by the church board or the pastor when you joined the church. It doesn't mean this artificial sort of thing that is abroad today, sort of a weak tea form of believism, as it's called, and it's almost make-believeism. So that what we're talking about is just simply this: do you not only trust Him, but do you know Him to the place where you can say, I love Him? Many years ago, the late Dr. Bill Anderson of the First Presbyterian Church in Dallas, he asked one of his friends, what do you think about the second coming of Christ? And this man, well, it says it's in our catechism, isn't it? I believe in the second coming of Christ, just like you do. And Dr. Anderson insisted. He says, I don't think it's the same. He says, you say you believe in the second coming of Christ. I love His appearing. And that's the difference. There are a great many people that are rendering lip service today in our churches. The whole thing is a ritual, church membership, and therefore there's no real love for the Lord Jesus. And so I would say to you, can you say right now, I love you, Lord Jesus? And I'm talking to you now who sent the question in, and I don't know who you are, and I'd probably have never met you, and you probably never met me. But I ask you that question, do you love the Lord Jesus Christ? And you know whether you do or not. I would say that's the way to know Him, is to love Him. He's a person. To love Him is the important thing. He even went so far as to say, if you love me, keep my commandments. In other words, just to go through a ritual and say you're obeying Him and you're keeping His commandments, that may be one thing. But He says, if you love me, that's the basis on which you and I are to serve Him today.